What's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine. We've heard that one before, but I thought when you got married, everything becomes ours. Isn't that the case? Not exactly. Mitchell Rushman, he is a family law attorney and partner with Jaburg Wilk. He's here to help us educate ourselves on property rights and how they might be impacted by your marriage. So, Mitchell, when we say I do, don't the two become one?
It's a very popular misconception, and I'm happy that you asked the question. Actually, the fact of your marriage doesn't change your property rights at all. The things that you owned before your marriage are called your separate property in our community property law in Arizona, and it doesn't change a bit by the fact of your marriage. But things that happen after you're married could cause your property rights to change.
All right, so give us some examples of how our property rights will change.
I think the most common example for most people is when they either acquire or refinance a home. Okay. There are a lot of documents that are going to be put in front of you in either situation, and it's pretty common for those documents to be prepared by a title company or a mortgage company, and you go in and they throw these documents in front of you, sign this, initial that, notarize this. It happens really fast. I don't know many people who spend a lot of time really looking at those documents, but your property rights could change. Specifically, your separate property rights could change to community, so what's yours could become ours, or conversely, you could have a community right change, so what's ours could become the other person's.
What about if someone is in debt? Or has bad credit?
Yep. A lot of times when someone has bad credit and they go for their mortgage loan, the mortgage underwriters are going to say, hey, let's put this loan in the name of the spouse that has good credit, but we need to transfer ownership of the house to that same spouse. And unfortunately, documents might be signed by the person disclaiming their interest to facilitate the loan that could impact their right to having any equity in the property.
Oh, wow. And what about if a parent gives you a down payment?
Another common situation. So parents, typically, people are young, they don't have enough money for a down payment. Parents will lend the money to them with an expectation to be paid back. But the mortgage lenders don't like that. They want to know that it's a gift, that it's not something that people have to pay back. And so they will require the parents to sign what's called a gift letter. The problem is that if the loan isn't properly documented, ultimately it'll be found that it's a gift, and now that people are divorcing, I gave a gift to my daughter of $100,000, and now I have inadvertently given a $50,000 gift to her husband.
Right, because they split it up, and that's not something necessarily that was intended, so that gift letter is critical then.
Critical.
Okay, what about, so how do we avoid all this mess? I mean, because we hear divorce brings out the absolute worst in people. How can we avoid all of this?
I think the best way to avoid the mess is to have a premarital agreement. Premarital agreements are a big topic. I think the important thing to know is they can be very focused. They don't have to cover all of your property rights. They can target a brokerage account, a home, certain things, and protect those rights so you don't have to worry about any of this.
And that's always a tough topic. You know this, going into the marriage, and you're like, I had to slide you a piece of paper, which is a prenup. How do we get that conversation going just to make sure everybody can come out of it happy?
I think you have to have an adult conversation if you're coming into a marriage and you have assets and you want to know, hey, I've worked hard to have these assets. You could always change your mind. You could have a premarital agreement and then modify it later, but at least going in, it would be a good idea to have the comfort of knowing these are my rights. If things don't work out, I still get that property. I haven't lost it.
All right, the prenup is very important. You can do a whole topic on it. All right, let's give you some information. The law office of Jaburg Wilk is located at 3200 North Central Avenue, Suite 2000 in Phoenix. For legal help, call 602-248-1000 or visit jaburgwilk.com.